Well, I set the hook on that one. All right, we're getting ready to go fishing. Mental well-being, whatever week we're on. So I'm not a very good fisherman. My wife makes fun of me because I don't really catch a whole lot of fish when I go, but I've gotten better through the years. So one of the things that I've gotten better with is just knowing where the fish are going to be at, the location of the fish based off the seasons and based off the tide, and wherever, you know, the fish should be spawning during certain seasons and things of that nature, so you kind of know where to target. So part of it is just knowing where the fish are going to be at. There's been plenty of times I've went and been fishing for hours and then realized later is because I was just fishing the wrong place. There wasn't no fish there. So thinking of that from like a biblical perspective, you think about the fact that, like, if we're going to reach people with the gospel, that we got to be where people are at. So I think of it in terms of like having activities and hobbies, just things that interact with other people. So that's just kind of my thought process with it. And then obviously we're doing the social media thing, which may or may not work, but there's at least people on social media, so that's kind of why we decided to target that. And then the other thing, I lost a lot of fish because I didn't prepare. So I've gotten better at preparing and ensuring like all my lines and all my stuff is ready to go fishing. And thinking of that, you find when Jesus called two of the disciples in Matthew 4, I think it was James and John, they were mending their nets when he called them. And then later on in like John 20 or 21, when they went fishing after he died, he was buried, he was resurrected. But Peter said, I'm gonna go fishing. And so they all went fishing. They went fishing all night. They didn't catch anything. And Jesus was on the shore and he said, why don't y'all cast your nets on the other side of the boat? They did that and they ended up catching a ton of fish. But the Bible specifically says that their nets didn't break. And I was like, man, I wonder if that happened just because of the fact that they prepared before they went out there. And there's been so many times where I've like hooked into something that it may have been a rock, but I hooked into something, and a lot of times it was a fish, and I missed it because my line broke, or, you know, probably I didn't have a knot prepared the way that I should have. And especially when you're saltwater fishing, and where I fish out with on a jetty, the rocks like nick it and stuff. So anyhow, preparation, I've spent a lot more time preparing over the last few years, and I think that's kind of helped me a little bit to catch more fish than I did before I started spending more time in preparation. But anyhow, we're gonna go out there and see if we can catch some fish. I'm just gonna keep going until I catch some, so that way y'all, you know, I gotta have something to put on the camera, so we'll see what happens. Hey, what's up? So I was able to finally get me one. Got me a little bass right here. He's a real small sucker, but we're gonna get him back in the water.